So then we get to 78.
Yeah.
You hit your 3,000th hit on May 5th.
Yeah.
The 13th player in Major League history to do that. Once you did that, was 4,000 already on your radar? Okay, I hit the 3,000.
Well, based on my
4,000's
age
next.
and the way I felt, you never look ahead that far. But I was pretty fortunate because I never had major injuries. And I could still hit, I could still play. You know, it wasn't like I needed 10 more years to get 1,000 hits. You know, so I didn't realize I could break the record, okay, until 84. When I came from Montreal back to Cincinnati as player manager. Okay? Because I played that year the last 6 weeks of the season as player manager, and I hit 370. So that kind of gave me the opportunity to play in 85. Now, if I'd have came back to Cincinnati as player manager and hit 170, I probably wouldn't have took a roster spot for the 75 season. Or excuse me, the 85 season. So I earned the right to pursue Ty Cobb strictly because of what I did the year before, going back to Cincinnati as player manager. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, no, it makes perfect sense, and we'll get to all that. That's part of that's part of the whole story. But what I wanted to say was that same year that you hit 3,000. That was when you started on your 44.
Off of Steve Rogers.
Yep, off of Steve Rogers, exactly, at Riverfront Stadium. But that same year is when you started going on your 44-game hitting streak.
Right. 78.
And right, this was 78. And of course, Joe DiMaggio has the record of 56 games.
Right.
Now, did you feel at that point like you're seriously going to beat it? Because like you said, it's a lot of skill, but it's also some luck involved.
Well, there's a lot of luck involved, but the whole thing with me that particular period of time was earning. I'm 44 years old, earning the right to play the next year. Right? Because if I'd have came back as player manager and flopped, I wouldn't have been on the roster in 85. But because I hit 370, that's a legitimate 370 for 6.5 weeks of the season. It gave me the opportunity to play in 85, and that's when I broke the record. But the record carried me because I knew I was within range. I wasn't gonna get 4160 or 4170. I was either going to get 4193 or not another hit. I wasn't going to finish second or third on the hit list. I was going to be number one.
Okay, so you're going on this 44-game hitting streak, and then you guys play the Atlanta Braves with Jean Garber. You were pretty upset over the way he actually handled that whole situation.
Well, first of all, McWilliams started that game, left-hander. And first of all, I want everybody to know that a pitcher's not supposed to go out there and lay it right down the middle for you. You understand what I'm saying? And what pissed me off about Garber was the score was 17-4, favor the Braves. 9th inning, 2 outs. Nobody on. If I'd have went up to bat without a bat, just stepped in the batter's box, I'd have walked on 4 pitches. So I was pissed that he didn't come right at me. You understand what I'm saying? Because he knew I had a swing. Because the streak's at the end. And I'm not going to swing at a ball that's going to be 3 feet outside or bounce on the dirt. He had me by the balls. And when he struck me out, he jumped 5 feet in the air. was like a World Series to him. And I'm just saying, why didn't you come right at me? If you're going to get me out, get me out. But don't make me go fishing for a hit, because I was not a bad ball hitter. That's what pissed me off.
Mm-hmm. Well, it was a hell of a run anyways.
Yeah,
44 games
yeah,
is still 44 games.
Yeah. Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. But that's what I was paid to do, hit.
Mm-hmm.
I just happened to do it 44 straight days.
Yep.
And I'll tell you what, that streak,
that next year,
that streak did one thing. I think that streak really helped baseball, because everywhere I went, once I got over 30, 32, 33, the ballparks were selling out. So I made the owners a lot of money in 78 by going on a hitting streak. You know, like I said, there was 40-some thousand at the game in Atlanta, where they're used to drawing 12 or 14,000. You know, it's 25 more thousand people. That's a lot of bucks in Ted Turner's pocket. He knew it.
Mm-hmm.
But what are you going to do?
What are you going to do? Okay. So that next year, you became a free agent.
Yeah, 79.
Now, 79, exactly. So considering the massive amount of success with the Reds, why didn't they keep you?
Well, I can't answer that question, but they weren't into paying big salaries. And at the time, they kind of made up their mind between me and Morgan. And Morgan was a little bit younger, so they signed Morgan to that contract instead of me. But I got to pick where I wanted to go. You know, I could have
went. 38. You were 38 at the time.
Yeah.
So, you know, for baseball, you're right. You know, there's probably some questions as to your ability, but you were still on fire, you know, in terms of the stats.
Well, they knew my dad played football when he was 43. So they knew my history. They knew I didn't drink. They knew I didn't smoke. They knew I took care of myself. So, you know, your career is going to last longer if you take care of yourself, as opposed to going out every night and getting drunk. You know, so I could still play. I could really still play.
Mm-hmm.